PodAskew podcast is a founding member of the Odd Pods Media Network. It's Fandom Friday. And we're getting vocal with PodAskew. I am CJ, and with me, as always, is my hetero life mate, Rico. What's up, man?
What's up, motherfuckers?
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us on What the Fuck Is Up With My Camera? There we go. All right. All kinds of discombobulated. I tried something different tonight, and it kind of didn't work. There we go. All right. What's up, man?
Not too much. Let me show you what Steph got me. Show all
Dude,
of
there's
you.
a major delay from. Wait, Rico, there's a massive delay between your video and your audio.
Let me fix that.
I wonder if there is with mine. I don't know. Is anyone seeing a delay? Oh, hold on, Rico. I got to unlock so you can get back in. There you go.
Is that better?
Yeah, much better. Sorry, guys.
Okay, so look at what Steph got me. A nice little coffee mug that is perfect for me.
Oh, that's awesome. You know who you need to send that to? You need to send a picture. Well, yeah. You need to send a picture of that to our friend April up in Canada. You know how much she loves unicorns.
That's right.
So, well, thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We have before we get into topics, we're not going to get as heavy as last week for sure. But we do have some stuff we want to announce, some cool things. The next 4 weeks of PodAskew, actually, we're celebrating. Oh, thank you, Jolene. I appreciate that. We're doing. I don't want to call them horror films because they're not all horror films, but we're doing.
Most are.
Well, yeah, but we're doing Halloween-ish stuff as opposed to horror stuff. So this upcoming release is our gateway drug into that, I guess, where we actually talk about the Cornetto Blood and Ice Cream trilogy put out by Edgar Wright and Simon Pegg. So that'll be out on Monday. The week after that, we are diving into some of Stephen King's work. Rico's into some of the creepier shit, and I'm into more of the psychological mystery shit. So we're going to be kind of blending those two worlds together a little bit. The week after that, week 2 of October, because there's actually five weeks in October. So that's week 2. Week 3 of October will be Rico, correct me if I'm wrong, but we're doing Resident Evil for that week, the Resident Evil franchise.
For which week?
It technically would be released the 3rd week in October. Should be Resident Evil.
Well, hold on.
Release week, not record week. So
release week will be
3rd week in October.
Third week, yeah.
Yeah, and then the 4th week in October is going to be Underworld.
Yep.
And the 5th week will be just a hodgepodge of creepy or somewhat goofy or just ghost related
No. Vampires.
Oh, vampires, and then I'm missing. Then I think I added a week somewhere, but yeah. And then that, right? Or do we scrap that?
The last week will be basically just Halloween favorite stuff, like favorite movies that we can go to, like the hodgepodge that you're talking about.
Okay, so I just had my week's numbers not lining up, but yes, that's the next several episodes of PodAskew. So please be on the lookout for those, and then we've got some exciting things for November too, but we're not going to announce those just yet. So, but tonight if you've listened to the last episode of PodAskew, and if you haven't, why the fuck not? We are doing
Don't be any of the words on this.
Yeah, don't be any of the
comment.
words on Rico's mug. We talked Monty Python. Primarily the movies. We did a little flying circus, but I feel like the bulk of the conversation was movie related. Go figure. But but what we ended the episode with was I posed the question, if Monty Python was originated in America with different people, who would it have been? And it didn't have to be from that time. It was just what would be the American equivalent of Monty Python. And so we posed it and came up with a list. So Rico and I are going to share our list, and then we're going to open this up for everyone else to join. So if you have comments and you think you're going to jump on camera, save them for that. If not, just dump them in the chat room. We'll make sure to acknowledge them. We're trying to get better at that. So would you like me to start, Rico, or would you like to start?
You can start. We'll go back and forth.
Okay. So our first one was to Terry Jones. No, Jolene. The British humor is very unique to Monty Python, and we're not arguing that. We're just saying, if there was an American equivalent, what would it have been? So we were just putting it together, but we certainly don't think these people are better than Python at all.
Not at all. This is sort of just a fan fiction.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So number one was Terry Jones, and we think Phil Hartman would be the equivalent in America for that. And then go ahead, Rico.
For the John Cleese of the troupe, we go Bill Murray,
which I'm not certain I feel is the best choice, but we didn't have a better one. The next one's really intriguing, and Eric Idle would be Robin Williams, which I think is a great choice. So there. Next.
For Graham Chapman, we have chosen Steve Martin,
and I still feel like that's the right call there. Like, I just do. This next one, I think, is going to be the one that really starts triggering some people. Now, because Terry Gilliam was technically an American, we felt that we should pick a British person who's not a Python already or considered a honorary Python, because there's a handful of them as well. And we said that the Terry Gilliam would be Simon Pegg.
And then branching off of that, going with Michael Palin, we chose Alan Tudyk,
which I still think is a deep cuts kind of pull, but I think it's perfect. Yeah. Then we get into two unique positions. There were two women who were not officially Pythons, but were in a bunch of Flying Circus episodes and a bunch of movies.
Honorary mentions,
if you will. Right. So the first one is Connie Booth. And actually, Rico, why don't you say this one? Because I really kind of want to say the last one. So
Connie Booth was Gilda Radner, because I honestly, pillar of female comedian
for sure.
Community. So.
For sure. And then the last one is Carol Cleveland. And for those who don't know who Carol Cleveland is, and you're familiar with Monty Python and the Holy Grail, she's Zoot. And her sister, her twin sister, whose name escapes me, from the Castle Anthrax. And we feel like Sarah Silverman would be a great fit for that role. So not just the Zoot character, but the different roles we saw Carol Cleveland play in the Python world. So those are our picks. I'm going to do a real quick recap. Rico, I'm just going to run them down myself. That's all right for you. Phil Hartman is Terry Jones. Bill Murray is John Cleese. Robin Williams is Eric Idle. Steve Martin is Graham Chapman. Simon Pegg is Terry Gilliam. Alan Tudyk is Michael Palin. I blanked on his first name for a minute there. Gilda Radner is Connie Booth, and Sarah Silverman is Carol Cleveland. So there's our list. We're going to open up the doors. Please come tell us what you think, and go get people. Where the fuck is everybody? No, we love you guys, but where's everybody? All right.
Find some more British people to argue with us.
Yeah, right. Bring them on. All right. Doors are open. Let us know what you got to say. Hey, Fern. If I didn't see you earlier, my apologies.
There were some other honorable mentions that we kicked back this list like for a while, and we were like, at one point I was like, "Fuck, how do I put Danny DeVito in this?" And
we also tried to work Eddie Murphy into this, if you recall. At one point, we brought up
it was Eddie Murphy, but I brought
up Chappelle, and you kicked back Eddie Murphy at me. So
yeah, and that's not to say anything against them. We were just really trying to reverse. So if there's a British version, there's an American version, and then an American version, British version.
The other thing that we went with, and I feel like I should share this for the people paying attention, and thank you guys for being here, is we didn't just pick, these people that we thought were funny. We thought, could these people work together? Because you mentioned Chevy Chase and felt like Chevy Chase theoretically should be in here, but we didn't feel like he'd get wrong with anybody because, well, he's Chevy Chase. So, in that way, that's why he's excluded from this. So, yeah, exactly, Jolene. So please, hey, I saw you on Ariel's thing yesterday. Come on and talk to us. Tell us what you think. Tell us if you have a substitution here. I want to hear this. Please, somebody. Todd, you're almost always on here. There's Todd. He's loading up. It's all right.
But I don't know enough about the individual people to really compare them to an American counterpart. I mean, if I was to pick people, it wouldn't be like in place of, it would be like these would be people that I would like to see do that type of show.
That's kind of what we were doing, though. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and Todd, just on a completely unrelated note, that fucking wall hanging is the coolest goddamn thing I've seen in a long time. I am a huge Invader Zim fan, so that's awesome.
That's why I hung it up, because I have had this thing for 20 years, and I just found it again. I got this 20 years ago at Hot Topic. So it's just,
yes, I wish I had known that. I would have bought that. So what did you think of our list, though, Todd? If you started talking about
great people, I thought they were all like fantastic choices. I mean, I would go even farther as far as like picking people from like different seasons of SNL or Mad TV. Like Phil Lamar would be a good one to put in there.
He could do Palin, maybe, Rico. You think?
Yeah, I could see that.
He's I mean, most people probably know him better from like the Mad TV as well as like Pulp Fiction. He's the guy who gets splattered all over the back window.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Artie Lang too. I mean, I don't know where he was hitting it, but here's the thing with the list too, is we tried to not make them all SNL people. Do you know what I mean? Like we that's why you have Alan Tudyk, Simon Pegg, Sarah Silverman. Okay. Although I think Sarah Silverman did do a season of Saturday Night Live.
Zachary Levi would be a good choice.
Who?
Zachary Levi?
Not for Python. No, but
why not?
Oh, well, I think part of what we were choosing was, I mean, nothing against Zachary Levi, but he just is not up to that par with the Monty Python troupe. He's funny, but he's just not that funny. And there's the whole thing of they have to be able to work together. And I would kind of view all these other people kind of looking at Zachary Levi. I'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing here? Like, you're go up and do your superhero movie bullshit."
Hey, you the other people you've mentioned are all people who've done like some sort of like ensemble show where they're all being funny and they're doing bits and stuff. I mean, yes, he's best known for being Shazam, but he was also on the show Chuck, and I've heard him on interviews and stuff. He's a funny fucking dude. I think he probably could do it.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying with this group. I mean, like Steph made an interesting point. I could see Bill Hader over Zach Levi.
Okay,
yeah, I agree with that. Bill Hader is hilarious. As far as, you know what? I'm trying to think of their names now. Colin Mockery would be a good one.
Colin Mockery for sure would definitely.
And actually,
pretty much from Whose Line.
And Rico, if I could interject, because I told Smoke about this, because I knew he wasn't going to make it tonight because it's Friday night and Smoke's usually not available. But he actually suggested, in that same vein, Ryan Stiles.
Yeah. I would agree. I think to make it a challenge, we have to choose one or the other. We can't have both.
If I gotta pick, what's it?
Just to make it more interesting. I'm not trying to like. It's not...
and that's the other thing he suggested too was Wayne Brady, just to get that diversity. That was another one he recommended.
Wayne Brady.
Yeah.
Okay.
I not that anything against Wayne Brady. If I was gonna pick from the American Whose Line crew, it would. See how familiar with them are you, Rico? Are you?
With the main three of the American ones,
but even some of the rotating chairs, because there's a couple of people that rotate through pretty regularly.
There was Brett. There was
Brett Sherwood. I think would be Terry Jones. Like if I was going to pick one of those guys, I could put him into Terry Jones like that. That would be.
I could see that. I could definitely see that. I mean, the ultimate irony is Robin Williams was a guest at one point, so he does qualify.
But yes,
I know.
Yes, you're right. I'm talking about that. Like there's a rotating chair, like Greg Proops. Brad Sherwood.
Greg Proops.
I don't think look, I love Greg Proops. He's one of my favorites flat out, but I don't think he'd be a good fit for this list. I don't. That's just
No, I agree. My vote would always go Ryan Stiles. Just because, nothing against the other guys, but I've always liked Ryan Stiles the most.
Well, if you're gonna exclude someone based on the knowledge that they've had, people have experienced negative experience being around them. Ryan Stiles, as I understand it, is not a pleasant person to be around.
Wayne Brady worse. I mean, that's the thing, So, that real. I mean, by that, I'm
super arrogant. Think they're
Rico, there's one guy we didn't think of. I don't know if he'd fit in the group, but Drew Carey, possibly.
No.
Hell yeah, dude. Drew Carey. Dietrich Bader would be good too.
Dietrich's not a bad poll.
I would choose Dietrich over Drew Carey. Drew Carey looks like the guy who would enjoy all the fame and the credit, but put no work in.
Well, wasn't that Graham Chapman? I mean, come on.
No, Graham Chapman wrote a ton of bits.
I know, I'm teasing.
But he got shit-faced all the time.
True. I don't have the knowledge for this, so your guys' list would be mine. Oh, well, thank you, Jolene. We appreciate that.
As far as like people who could write for the show, I think that dude, of course, now that I'm trying to say their names, my mind blanks. The guys from South Park.
Oh,
Trey Parker, Matt Stone.
Yeah. See, they could write, sure. I mean, if we could add people, they would be the guys doing the animation. Because, I don't think Simon Pegg could do the Terry Gilliam animation. With all respect to Simon Pegg, I don't think he just has that skill set. So
I think actually one of them, either Simon or Nick Frost, actually can draw decent, but not to the level of animation that Terry Gilliam can.
Right,
do.
that's kind of what I'm getting at. I'm not saying they're terrible artists, but they're not Terry Gilliam.
If I were to throw in a writer, I would throw in Tina Fey.
Tina Fey, yep. Who also was a writer that most people forget about? Well, there's a couple, like Chuck Lorre. As much as he's known as an executive producer, he's a writer too. But that's not who I was going to say. I was going to say Conan O'Brien. He wrote a fuck ton of the Simpsons episodes back in the day. So
and SNL
and SNL, right. So yeah. So and then look, I know he's a piece of scum, but Joss Whedon knows how to write comedy, whether we like him or not. He wrote.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know
episodes.
I don't know if Joss knows how to write situational comedy. He knows how to write funny dialogue, but he could never write a bit like the Pythons.
No, not a bit, but he can't write sketch comedy. He can write situational comedy because he could write Roseanne episodes. So I think you may have used the wrong term there, but
I would also argue he probably had a lot of other writers in the room helping him write those Roseanne.
Yeah,
but
right.
I wouldn't give him 100% of the credit for how good or how bad his shows were.
No,
I think there's a lot of good writers.
And actually, that brings me to a point, Rico, a guy we never thought of. Does John Goodman fit on this list somewhere?
As a performer, yeah, I think so.
But does he? You got to think Python too. That's the thing. Like you can't just. You have to think stylistically. I don't know stylistically. He's a great performer. No one's arguing that, Todd. But does he fit stylistically with Python?
Well, I mean, you really can't like build a new team of Pythons, especially American. That just it wouldn't work.
Yeah, I mean,
but we did.
That's what we're trying. That's what we just did. That's the 6 people we just read off, or whatever it is. 7, 8 people. I can't count.
I mean, it's a great wish list of people to work together, but ultimately, how well will these people really work together, and will it work out, and will it have a good fit? Will it?
Well, the wild card of our group would be Bill Murray. Bill Murray is not as bad as Chevy Chase, but he's he and Lucy Liu like almost got into a fucking fight on Charlie's Angels.
He got replaced in the second movie.
Well, I think it was also just like, I don't want to be in this other piece of shit. Like, one was enough.
Right. And
then it was Bernie Mac was like, oh, I need this.
And then
I need the money.
Isn't that right around the time he did away with his agent? You just set up that like toll-free number or some bullshit?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, probably. That makes sense.
You've heard of this. I think it's still how he operates. He doesn't have an agent anymore.
He has a contact at the local FedEx store, I think.
No, he has a phone number that's set up to an answering machine. And I don't mean voicemail. I mean like an answering machine. And
a lot of tape reel.
Jolene, Charlie's Angels, the first one is fine. Full Throttle, no. Just no. Like
I've never seen them, so I can't.
There are parts of the. I'm talking about like the old school Charlie's Angels. I haven't seen the new reboot, whatever the fuck. I'm talking
the new ones.
The one with the Chad, the Chad.
Oh God, that was.
She says. That's possible.
I mean that's how you watch it. Which also, incidentally, had John Cleese in it.
True. We talked about it on the episode. Yeah, because he was Lucy Liu's dad or something, wasn't he?
Yeah. Which was
Jay liked that one. Full Throttle. No.
No.
Full Throttle, as in this thing needs to run out of gas.
Yeah.
Needs to be spun off to the side of the road.
No, I see you snuck in here. Do you have a thought on any of this? Maybe, sort of, or not? Mallet. It's the video or the camcorder icon right below Jolene. And
got it. Yeah, I was like, who?
So,
we did acknowledge that one of the more honorary Pythons that we did consider but excluded because the Pythons gave him the honorary title was Eddie Izzard.
Her.
Well, actually, I've heard Eddie Izzard goes both. They actually what I read they do actually take both pronouns.
Okay, well I'm okay. That's fine because Ariel's pretty solid at it. She, so I'm just going on what she's told me about her.
Well, she hasn't updated her Wikipedia.
Nobody ever does.
But they in the thing they said that they go with both.
Okay, so they're going with the they more than
I don't know. As far as Wikipedia goes, I take everything that's on there with a grain of salt.
Well, he's definitely transitioned something, but what the pronoun is, I'm still unclear. Jolene says he thinks he's non-binary, which that would make sense.
Yeah, I mean, I would think he was non-binary more than anything else. I haven't seen Eddie Izzard in forever, so I don't know what they look like today.
Fucking love his stand-up though. He's so
they look really good. I'm not gonna lie. Like he hasn't really aged much.
No. Cake or death? Yes, very much. I love that. That's actually for you, Jolene. I think he's done that bit in a handful of different routines, but that Dress to Kill one is filmed right outside Rico's area. It was actually in the city, as they call it, because he does a whole bit about don't call it San Fran or whatever, because they get all and everyone apparently brings a snake in their bag to a gig, which is one of my. I might watch that later.
I love how he uses James Mason as the voice of God.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's such because I'm like, and he plays God as just this bumbling British like, yes, I'm trying to. I don't know. Oh, I didn't mean to make those fuckers. Oh shit. And he just does bits in different languages, regardless of who the audience is. He's like, just does a whole fucking setup in French. They're like, we're German. What the fuck?
Yeah. He does that regularly. I'm a huge fan. If I didn't have a movie to watch for our episode this week, I would probably watch it later. But because I have 2 more movies to watch for my homework. But in any event, I think we lost Mal. She's there, but she's not listening, or she's choosing not to answer. Either way is fine. But anyway, so yeah,
maybe we're just not funny anymore.
Were we ever funny?
One of us was.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Oh well, thank you, Fern. I'm sorry that we're not. Well, hopefully we're educating a little bit. I don't think it's PhD worthy, but hey, hopefully we're educating a little bit.
Hey, the best I can say is I'm aware of who Monty Python is. I couldn't tell you everybody's IMDb, so.
Yeah, Python, as we talk about in the episode, has been on my radar since I was about 14 when a buddy of mine showed me Holy Grail as a way to celebrate my birthday. We got KFC and watched Monty Python and Holy Grail, and that's how we spent my 14th birthday. But goddamn, that was fun. So, yeah. But
yeah, I remember watching Monty Python as a kid because I have older siblings and older cousins, and they were all about Monty Python back in the 70s and early 80s, and I remember them showing me the show and just like watching it going blank, 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 because as a young kid I didn't get any of the jokes.
Well, and I mean, it's something Rico and I've talked about regularly just in general, that like you watch a show or a movie or whatever when you're not even young, but like, early teens, something like that. And you find it funny and entertaining. And then you go back and you watch it as an adult and you pick up the jokes that went when you were younger and you're like, oh, okay.
Forrest Gump. Fucking
Yes.
So much shit went over my goddamn head. And then I watched it as an adult. I'm just like, that whole part, for those who've seen it, I mean, everyone's seen fucking Forrest Gump,
and
right?
If you haven't,
so
why not? I mean,
that part where he's in Jenny's dorm room, and then like he's like, "Oh, I'm dizzy." I didn't realize till years later he fucking like premature ejaculated and got lightheaded. Like that's what happened,
right?
Like,
shit.
Yeah, we're just like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Oh.
Jolene, your dad is awesome. Just say.
Where's your dad? Have your
dad come on.
Call your dad. Come on.
For real. Fuck, I don't give a shit. We can have. He's asleep
because he's old.
Well, in fairness, it is 1:30 in the morning where they're at, so I can't get to. Yeah.
I still kind of want her to wake him up, be like, "Yo, get online and talk to these suckers about Monty Python.
Talk to these Yankees about Python, Dad."
Yeah, these Yankees.
What time is it?
Hell, that dude Mark joined us. What? Not our friend Mark, but that guy from Cornwall a couple weeks back. He's
Cornhole.
Cornhole.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the pythons and this grouping, it's a once in a lifetime thing. Like that's the thing. Dad, wake up.
3 men your age.
I think. Well, I am. You're not, but I think Todd and I are. Rico's. Yeah, that's me and Todd ish. Rico's 29, so.
Yeah, I look the part.
You do.
I feel like we talk about this every fucking episode. I think people just forget that I'm 29.
Well, because you look the part. You just said it. I mean, let's be real.
What'd you say?
Get off my lawn. Wait.
I know, I'm a fucking baby with all this bullshit on my face.
I still think
this is just... The what?
I do. Yeah, I do.
He has a better beard than I do.
You want to know how? Okay, well, I don't know if we've shared this story on Get Vokl, so I'm glad to share the comment about me.
You age like a fine wine. I age like fucking vinegar.
Yeah. Fern's asking how we met, and I don't think she's heard the story, and I don't think we've talked about it on Get Vokl, so I'll share it this time, Rico. I think I made you do it last time.
He responded to my OK Cupid.
Yeah, no. I swiped right on Tinder. Remember? That's what it was. No,
It was Tinder. I thought it was something else that sounded like
Grinder.
Tinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Fern. What? Plenty of fish. There you go.
Yeah. Match.com.
Match.com. No.
eHarmony. We were the only atheists on eHarmony. That's why it worked out great.
Did I ever tell you, Rico, and Fern, I'm going to answer your question, but Rico, did I ever tell you the time I went on eHarmony years ago, it was long before you met me, and it literally told me there was no matches for me in the entire site?
Well, I didn't join eHarmony. I joined Match, but it was a similar thing. It was just like, I joined up, and my results were, why? It was just like, hey, I'm Rico, and they're just like, no.
Yeah, no.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? Yeah. So how we met, I had a previous podcast called Running the Hamster Wheel. It was my friend and I actually, well, she was my friend too, but it was my friend's wife. What?
Ariel just popped in.
Oh, hey, Ariel. We'll fill you in on the stuff in a minute, but Fern's asked a question we're responding to. So I had a show called Running the Hamster Wheel with my friend's wife, and we just did it bi-weekly. Hello, dear.
Hi.
And look at you all set up in a proper system and whatnot.
I know.
So we did this thing called Running the Hamster Wheel, and it was an interesting concept of a single man and a married woman discussing topics from those perspectives, and we did about 35, 40 episodes, something like that, and had a falling out, and I left podcasting for a couple years, and I started getting the itch again, and I reached out to a fan page we're on called The World of Kevin Smith on Facebook, and I just put a post up, and I said, I'm looking to start a new show. I need a co-host because, goddamn it, I'm not funny enough by myself. So, and several people responded with great pitches and ideas and how they want to do it and all this stuff. Rico responded with, here's my YouTube channel link. And that was it. And
well, I was that brief, but I did say, like, I said, this is what I do. Here's my YouTube channel. Let me know if you're interested.
Oh, yeah,
let me know if you like it.
I think there was pretty big. There wasn't much compared to what everyone else had said, because people would send me like paragraphs of ideas, and so you were just like, here. I watched a couple episodes, and off we went. And we've been doing it since. We've actually, Fern, to that point, we've never physically met before. We have just only been like, this is the closest we've come to meeting. So Rico just did basically what we do here by himself, screaming at the screen. So at least now he has me to yell at. So
yeah, but then I'm twice as funny.
No, you're half as funny. But
okay, it's still going on. It's called Rico's Rants, but I don't go on it that often. But it was it actually started out as a form of self-therapy because it was free, and I would just talk about whatever I want to talk about, mostly movies and shit. And then it evolved. What my friend and I went and saw the movie Logan, and we got completely fucking shit-faced. And he dropped me back off, and he says, "You should do a rant right now, as drunk as you are." So it's like 12 minutes to be like, all right, let me tell you why Logan was the fucking shit. And I was that drunk where I'm like trying to like breathe through, like my bottom lip pointed out, like doing that shit.
Fortunately, that's not the one he sent me, but I have gone back and watched it. It's pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, and I basically said, like, this is like way before like Infinity War came out. I was just like, if Infinity War is not as good as this or Deadpool, then you can suck my dick. And I'm just like, look, I was like, where's my booze? And then it became like more episodes where it was just like people were starting to say, "Hey, we don't give a fuck what you say. Just be drunk again." I'm like, this is hurting me, man. Like I can't. There was one time where I tried to do a Thor Ragnarok review. Same thing. Went and saw it, got shit faced, went home, and I'm just like, and I don't have the footage anymore, but I didn't release it because it was me just like getting really sick and nauseous and getting the spins, and you could very audibly hear me go, "I can't fucking do this shit." Oh god. Yeah.
So I want to catch Ariel up, and I'm gonna try to do this every half hour ish anyway, just for new people to come if new people come in.
Mhm.
So Ariel, what we're doing tonight is our last episode. If you have not heard it yet, we did a deep dive into Monty Python, the 3 movies and Flying Circus. The movies more, but we did talk about all of it. And by the end of the episode, we decided, what if Monty Python were Americans? What would be the Americans? Would be the equivalents of Monty Python. So we started pitching out names. Now, we don't think Americans are funnier. We don't think that these guys should have. This is just fan fiction, as Rico called it. And so this is the group we came up with. So I'm going to quick recap on Rico. I'm just going to run again like I did before. Terry, in an alternate universe, Jolene, that's a perfect way to look at it. Terry Jones would be Phil Hartman. John Cleese would be Bill Murray.
Oh,
or Eric Idle would be Robin Williams.
Nice.
Graham Chapman would be Steve Martin.
Oh, interesting.
Terry Gilliam, because he was technically an American, we picked a Brit to do the flip side as they did.
Okay.
So Simon Pegg would be Terry Gilliam.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Michael Palin would be Alan Tudyk. And then there were 2 women who were honorary Pythons with actually being part of the Python troupe, and that was Connie Booth and Carol Cleveland. So Connie Booth, we picked Gilda Radner.
Oh, good one. Yep.
And for Carol Cleveland, we picked Sarah Silverman.
Nice.
So what we're asking,
she's on my celebrity list, by the way.
There you go.
The only woman on it.
Yeah, you need one, and that's not a bad.
She doesn't really have the voice that, like, she's a funny comedian, but like her kind of like voice, like where she talks on the side of her mouth, just doesn't allure sexuality. Like it's just.
You've never seen her do the aristocrats joke. Watch her do the aristocrats joke, and
listen, Rico, I understand where you're coming from. However, it's my list, not yours. So
yeah, so there you go. And then Ariel, just for clarity purposes, there are people we left off on purpose because they've been deemed honorary Pythons by the Pythons themselves.
Nice. Okay.
Eddie Izzard, as an example, doesn't qualify because he's been deemed. Actually, we were having a discussion about that. We've determined based on his on the Wikipedia that he's technically non-binary, and he identifies as both. So he identifies as both.
The last time that I saw her live, which I've done multiple times, she went by she. So
okay,
she.
But the wiki and other things that we researched said that it will go either way depending on the context. So it's she is fine for the conversation, but it actually can identify as a non-binary.
I'm aware. I studied that in grad school. Thanks, though.
So moving on. That's our list, and we're just asking. I thought that too, Fern, but yeah. That's our list, and so we're just asking people to give us their list or thoughts on ours or both or whatever. And refusing to be pinned down to a gender describe. Okay, so okay, thank you for the update there, Jolene. Appreciate that. Fern, we were talking about Eddie Izzard.
This got serious.
So,
can someone make a dick joke, please?
You have a small dick.
And it's
That's
floppy.
not really a joke. That's just true.
Like, depends on whose perspective the joke is. Anyway, so
Steph's in the room. You can talk to her about it.
I'd rather not. Personally, I don't need her perspective on your penis. but I trust that she appreciates it.
She's typing away. You may no. Okay.
Lost connection. There we go. I think I'm back. There we go. All right.
Yep, you're there.
Yeah. So that's our list. That's what we came up with. If you had any ideas on the list or changes you want to make, Ariel, hit us with them. Let's hear them.
No, I think you did a great job. Actually, I don't know that I'd sub anybody out or in for what you guys decided on.
The one that we thought would maybe, for lack of a better phrase, confuse people is Alan Tudyk, because not many people know who he is. I mean, he's getting more and more popular, but I think there's still a large majority of people who aren't as familiar with who he is by name. They might recognize his face if they see him, but they may not know by name. They also aren't aware of he does a lot of voice work. Enrico, you know that, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, he is now sort of the good luck charm in the new Disney animated films, not Pixar, the Disney shit like Wreck-It Ralph and Zootopia and stuff like that.
Plus, he's K2SO from Rogue One. So
he's also a plethora of characters on the show Harley Quinn. He plays the Joker.
I need to watch that. You've been telling me.
You really need to watch this.
Yeah.
Yes, you do. It's a great show. I love it.
Maybe I'll make that tomorrow. I actually like the second one a lot, Jolene. Did we do a Wreck-It Ralph episode, Rico, or we just kind of talked about it when it came out, right? You went and saw it and we talked about it briefly?
I went and saw the second film and we just briefly talked about it. That was sort of like, hey, what'd you do yesterday kind of shit.
Yeah.
I definitely liked the second one more than the first one.
Yeah.
I loved the first one, though. It was I loved
the first one, but the second one was just better.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely agree. I just, I loved the first one. I thought it was super cute.
God damn it.
See, Steph, I think Jack Black is a little too intense to be Eric Idle. That's why, because we kicked around the idea of Jack Black being on this list.
No, I agree with that.
And I agree. I think he's too intense for that list.
He would annoy the fuck out of the other guys.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. So Steph chimed in saying Bill Hader as John Cleese.
Yeah.
Wayne Brady or Jack Black as Eric Idle. Okay, so I love the idea of Bill Hader. I love him. So I'm on board with that. I mean, guys, who did you have for John Cleese? Again?
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. Okay, so I love Bill Murray. But yeah, I could definitely see John Cleese kind of is a straight man, right? As far as the Pythons are concerned.
I felt more the straight man than Cleese even though.
Who
I would
Graham Chapman.
Oh, definitely Graham Chapman is the straight man.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
But John Cleese is a little more subtle funny, right?
Well, he's I always characterize him as him being really aggressive.
Yeah.
Which is why we put him that's why we put him with the Cleese, because we feel like Cleese was aggressive. Mary's a bit aggressive. Steve Martin's not as aggressive, and that's
right.
It's better with Graham Chapman.
It was almost Chevy Chase, but we're like, no. Chevy Chase will be shot by all these other guys if he's part of this group.
He definitely would. He's known to be kind of a jackass.
And we left off Will Ferrell because neither of us like him.
You don't like Will Ferrell?
No,
what's wrong with Will Ferrell? He's fucking hilarious. Although I do get why you don't like him, because he bothered me for a long time too.
He's over fucking rated, as far as I'm concerned.
He's one of the funniest people ever. What are you talking about?
No. Look, when he is funny, he's very funny. But a lot of his shit is more
stupid,
one dimension. Yeah. No, it's just he does that bit where he's just like, I'm being loud for the sake of being loud. All right, we get it. You have Ferrell in your name, so you're gonna act like a wild asshole. We get it. I always prefer John C. Reilly over the two. When they're paired up, they're fucking amazing together. But Will Ferrell by himself is just
Rico. Read Jolene's comment. That's funny.
Yeah, Rico that's true. I will say he was pitch perfect in Elf. He was the perfect right of giddy and annoying and obnoxious, and I believed he believed in Santa. That being said, I only need to see Elf once or twice ever.
I mean,
it's not one of those movies I really want to rewatch.
In that same regard, like I
don't even care that much for his films. I really just loved him on SNL.
See, there's only like one or two SNL sketches he was a part of that I liked, and that was I didn't mind the cheerleaders, and
the Spartans,
and then I'm only talking reoccurring because there's a one-off that he was in that I like, but it's a one-off. But there's reoccurring ones that I liked were the cheerleaders, the Captain and Tennille kind of thing that he did, that one, and then Alex Trebek, and that was it. That was the only one.
Well, what about when he was W with Dana Carvey playing the dad?
I saw that one man. I saw the one-man show he did of it, and it was okay. But he
does a great impression of Bush, but it's like that's sort of my point, is that he's talented, but he's not as talented. Like John C. Reilly can sing, dance, is really funny.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Like I'm 100% on board with you, Rico. Like I love John C. Reilly.
Now the cowbell sketch, because it's a one-off, is one of the funniest sketches I've ever seen. But to me, it's not funny because of Will Ferrell. It's funny because of a lot of the other people involved. It's
funny because of
right. It's funny because of Walken, and to me, it's funny because, and I can't think of who the actor's name is, so I apologize to him. But the guy who's in front with the guitar, just as straight as he was the whole time, and then in the same regard, Jimmy Fallon losing his shit, like he can't
losing his shit. Yep, like he always did.
Right. Which was his thing, and I get that, but like those are the things that make that sketch funny to me, not Will Ferrell. So.
Let me put it this way: Will Ferrell could have been replaced in that sketch, and would have been exactly the same.
Right. I feel like at least with Trebek, he had to be Trebek. But again, the funniest parts of that was not Will. It was Norm Macdonald. What?
Supporting cast.
It was the guest.
It was again right. It was Norm Macdonald as
Burt Reynolds
and
oh god,
I can't think.
It's my favorite.
It was Daryl Hammond as Sean Connery.
$500, Alex.
I'll take the rapist for $200, Alex.
I'll take the penis mightier.
Yeah, I mean, like those are the things. Like that's the thing. What makes the Will Ferrell sketches funny is not Will. That's why I don't know. That's me, but.
I reiterate what
movies better than the stuff he did on SNL, because his movies, specifically with John C. Reilly, are probably the funniest things he's ever done. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, I take that back. There's also the Daddy's Home movies, which are both hysterical. Only because I have a dysfunctional family and I can totally see my family in those situations.
Which ones?
Daddy's Home.
Oh, okay. Okay.
With Maki Mack?
Really funny.
See, for
with Maki Mack and John Cena. Yeah.
Like honestly, and I mean this probably started a whole nother debate, but like for me, Will Ferrell is the least funny part about Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
I would agree.
He
although he has my favorite fucking line in that whole movie.
Okay.
I'm not about to let some butt fucking Brady Bunch butt fucking Brady Bunch is the funniest part in that whole movie for me.
Yeah, but I mean,
him saying "fuck beans" just sounded like something that he came up with. It didn't sound like something Kevin wrote. You know what I mean? The
only funny scene he's in by himself where he doesn't have, like the scene outside the diner where he makes that line, Rigo. The thing that makes it funny is Judd. Is that Judd Nelson? Yeah, I think it's Judd Nelson acting him. You know what I mean? And then. Like all the people he's with, the only time he's funny by himself is when he jumps out of the sewer grate and falls down into like what looks like the Hoover Dam. Yeah, Hoover Dam. And you think he's gonna die, which not funny that he's gonna die, but like he shouldn't have survived that fall. But that's a whole different discussion.
I don't know. I thought it was funny when I thought he was gonna die.
Fern, John Cena is a wrestler.
John Cena is a wrestler. We're talking about,
but he's also an actor.
No, but I think she heard John C. Reilly as John Cena.
No,
because they brought up John Cena.
Oh, I missed that. Then my fault.
Yeah. He's in the end of the first Daddy's Home, and then he's in all of the second one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We lost you for a second.
No, I got it. It came through.
Okay. I will say this. I think Will Ferrell needs to do more serious acting because Stranger Than Fiction
I was going to
is
say Stranger Than Fiction.
is insanely good, and he's
So good.
insanely good in it.
I agree. Mm-hmm.
Rico actually tried to put, going back to our list real quick, Rico did pitch John C. Reilly as a potential member here. We just couldn't agree on it because to me, I like John C. Reilly's more serious stuff. For example, one of the movies I'm watching for this week's upcoming release was Dolores Claiborne. There's not a lick of comedy in that role that he plays, but I liked his performance. He was fantastic.
Well,
there's a
but like you can look at something though, like for instance, Chicago, right? Which musical, you know, but while he's playing a serious role, there is a humor to it.
Sure.
Because he's kind of the cuckold, right? Like he's the husband whose wife is messing around on him, right? So, you know, when he does the number Cellophane, like you do get a little bit of that. Yeah, exactly, Steph. Dark humor, right? Yeah. But that's one of the things I love about John C. Reilly is that you can see him in something like Chicago, and then you can see him in something like what the fuck is that
Walk
movie?
Hard.
The one Talladega Nights and shit. Like he's that diverse. Wasn't he in Boogie Nights? It's been a minute since I've seen that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah. I mean, he was really that's true. Yeah. He was really good in that. I mean, it's just he has a range that not a whole lot of actors have, I think.
Fern brings up a point. She asks, can we talk about who the unfunniest person is? To her, it's Jim Carrey.
I love Jim Carrey. I don't want to see him do anything comedic ever. I'm so over the comedy.
I would love to see him go back to doing comedy again because his comedy movies are like hands down the funniest things I've ever seen.
When was the last time you saw one of his comedies, like from way back when, that you loved and then watched it again recently?
For me, Rico, Tom, or Todd, if I can answer real quick. For me, real simply, The Mask and Liar still hold up.
That's it.
I mean, and I like those. I like those films. It's just that when it comes to humor, he is like Jolene said, I believe, a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Like there's not a whole lot of depth to it. Whereas when he does more serious roles, he's a very talented actor.
I liked him in obviously The Truman Show, which was one of his more first serious roles. But then he also, Enrico, you might have to correct me here. I think it's Apartment 23 is what it's called. It's like a
Number 23.
It's number 23.
Yeah, that was, and I'm Enrico. You know, I'm not huge into like those types of movies, but I actually really enjoyed it. Still scared the crap out of me, but I did enjoy it quite a bit. So
I will say that, like everybody, I was on that Jim Carrey bandwagon when I was a kid because his humor is perfect when you're a kid. And then when you start to grow up a little bit and you're like, oh, Dumb and Dumber is fine. It's funny. Sure. But it's the chemistry between him and Jeff Daniels. Jeff Daniels, as far as I'm concerned, is insanely funnier than Jim Carrey in that movie. Yes. Because you look at Jim Carrey, and Jim Carrey's always trying to be on. Right. Jeff Daniels was a straight-laced actor who had perfect timing.
Well, that kind of goes. That goes back to what. A little bit about what Eddie said about us, right? About the haymakers versus the just throwing.
So I'm the Jeff Daniels of this group,
kind of, but in a good way. I hated Dumb and Dumber. Honestly, I didn't like it at all. But the other role that I think he played well, and you have to think of context here, right? The context is important. We all agree the Schumacher Batman movies not great, but his role as the Riddler for what Schumacher wanted, I think, was fine. I don't think it's a good Riddler, but for what Schumacher was aiming for, hit the ball right out of the park.
Definitely, I agree with that.
But when I rewatched Batman Forever within a year and a half, 2 years ago, I couldn't help but think this is just a Jim Carrey movie with Batman. It felt like he stole the whole movie, but not like, oh, he stole the show. He was such a standout. It was like, oh, fuck you, Jim. We didn't come to see Batman just to see you. Like,
see,
you know what I mean?
Right.
that I blame on Schumacher, not so much on Jim.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, that is a direction kind of issue rather than like an actor.
And I realize I'm probably the only one who actually actively likes Jim Carrey in anything he's done. I actually rewatched both of the Ace Ventura movies in the last few months, and they're still fucking hilarious to me. But then again, my sense of humor is a wide net. I like a bunch of different things. I'm not going to stop liking something that I liked when I was 12 just because I'm almost 50. To me that's stupid. If I liked it.
There's no way, Todd. No, you're not almost 50.
I am. 12 months away.
No fucking way. There's no way. No, you're lying. What?
Yeah. 1951.
No.
September 21st.
To your point, Todd,
that is
we know someone who went deep cuts Jim Carrey fandom, like no doubt. You know the scene in Ace Ventura 2 where he's got the asparagus hanging out of his mouth and the tomatoes for eyes? This dude got
Rico, you all right?
Rico's seen this. This dude has a calf. You don't think you call it a sleeve because it's on your calf, but it's his entire calf is that face. He got that tattooed on him. That face with the asparagus, the whole bit. Now, on top of that, he and his wife deal in memorabilia, and they have the entire costume, screen worn from that movie, the second, in their collection.
Oh my god!
So, yeah,
it's crazy.
Fucking Jim Carrey devotion, especially Ace Ventura. He loved those movies.
Can I? My absolute favorite Jim Carrey role is as the dad or he was the grown-up version of the child in. Fuck, was it Simon Birch?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
So the kid was played by the kid from Jurassic Park, and then the grown-up version was Jim Carrey. Simon Birch is a weird movie.
I love it.
It's
so much.
Good, but you're watching it's weird for me because I'm an atheist, and it's full of Jesus, and you're like,
oh, for sure, for sure. But it's really similar in Rico. You might have seen this other one too. Have you seen Freak the Mighty?
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Steph introduced it to me.
That is one of my favorites ever.
It's probably one of the few James Gandolfini movies that I had never heard of, and then I was like, oh.
Well, I mean, I read the book before I ever saw the movie, but and the book is just called The Mighty, but it's one of my absolute favorites, and it's very, very similar to me. I mean, I think of them as like fraternal movies, like Simon Birch and Freak the Mighty.
I would look at Simon Birch
kind of feel.
Very similar to. I mean, it's the same writer.
I can't. But I keep getting a Sting music video, which I don't think is what we're looking for here.
So what?
Freak the Mighty. I'm not finding it.
In the movie, it's just called The Mighty.
Okay.
Is it The Mighty? Yeah. Okay. I think maybe I had that backwards.
It's got Sharon Stone and the dude who plays Foggy in the Daredevil show.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which is from Mighty.
And he's great in it. Ironically enough, he was in Dumb and Dumberer, the fucking prequel to Dumb and Dumber.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was gonna say. Oh, because I would look at Simon Birch as similar to The World According to Garp.
Oh yeah, no, I see that.
Yeah, which if that is always a great movie to introduce to somebody who's like, I'm a devoted Robin Williams fan. I'm like, have you seen The World According to Garp? Because, oh shit.
You said, I still don't think this is right because this is Harry Dean Stanton, Sharon Stone, Kieran Culkin, but I'm not seeing Gandolfini.
Well, he's got a very small role.
Oh, okay. You made it sound like it was a Gandolfini movie. That's why I.
No. He has one scene. I mean, he's the antagonist of the film, but he only shows up to towards halfway.
This is right because I just found the guy from Mighty Ducks and Foggy and all that. So yeah, here he is. All right.
Right.
Yep. That's the one.
I'm just
It's
Definitely watch it. If you haven't seen it, definitely watch it. Watch The Mighty and watch
I've got
Simon Birch.
so many.
because they're
We
both
just
amazing.
announced our list of movies for October for Halloween, and I've got so many movies to watch right now. Yeah,
he's got a lot of homework.
I've got. She said
Homework. I wish my homework had been watching
15.
movies.
Well,
I have 15 movies to watch in the next 3 weeks. 15
Right?
to 20 to watch in the next 3 weeks. So
you chose your podcast the way you chose your podcast, Ariel.
Yeah.
You could have done movies.
yeah,
I have a podcast where I talk about documentaries.
Well,
so-
all right, do that more. Then you could watch all the docs
Well,
you want.
I am. I mean, look,
Thank you,
listen. We
Thank you,
are
Jay.
putting out an episode on Sunday of this week that's going to be about speed cubers.
oh, you're doing that one. Great.
Mhm. Oh my god, CJ, like you were so
Good, right?
right when you recommended that. I was like, oh my god, I was like, not ugly crying. It was more like just tears, just perpetual, just tears. I was watching like this is the cutest thing I've ever seen. It was like the people equivalent to like a puppy pile.
Yeah.
It was so fucking cute.
That one kid is huge too, isn't he? Like not like this, but just like just jolly.
He was giant. He was like this just and bigger than life in not a personality way, but like in a just sort of like he was a world champion over and over and over. Like amazing. It was just amazing. So if you have not watched
On
Speed
Netflix.
Cubers, when CJ first recommended it, it's on Netflix. When CJ first recommended it, I was like, so what? I'm gonna watch people like solve Rubik's cubes? Sounds fucking lame. And then I watched it, and
Not
it's
at all.
phenomenal. I'm like, I want to put Felix in my pocket and just carry him around.
And I'll say this too, for those and Rico who gave a look like, it's only 40 minutes. Like it's not a 2 hour. It's not a long documentary. It's one of the shortest documentaries I've ever watched. Actually,
it is. It's only like 40 minutes.
It's a very short documentary, but it's worth watching.
Don't worry, Haley and I will make it like an hour and a half
I'm
talking
sure
about it.
You're recording that Sunday?
Tomorrow or Sunday.
I'll look forward for that.
imagine. Do you want to come on?
It depends on when you're doing it, but yeah, I could. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll touch base with you.
I thought Todd froze there for a second, but he's back. So good. All right. Anyway, but we were talking comedians for a minute there, and now he's having a convulsion.
Mhm.
So we were talking comedic actors and Monty Python people of all things. Actually, since we are another half hour, no one new came in, so I don't feel like I need to reset. But yeah, what?
Jolene. I'm sorry. Jolene just posted,
Definitely.
"My girl hurts me to my soul." Oh,
Well,
dear
it's a-
God.
Yes.
It's a tough movie, especially that scene at the end.
The bees. I can't.
I mean, the
I can't.
bees.
And then
Her.
her. Oh my God. And then her being like, he needs his glasses. He can't see without his glasses. Oh, fuck me. I don't remember much about this movie, but I remember that. Like
It took me years to realize that, oh my God, Dan Aykroyd and Jamie Lee Curtis are in this fucking movie.
isn't that nuts?
I mean,
Like it didn't occur to me.
And there's
either.
another.
I thought,
Go
go ahead.
No. Finish your thought.
I thought because I remember seeing My Girl when I was like little, and I thought the Dan Aykroyd role was, I'm gonna fuck up his name, but like, I think his last name was Larquette or Larcott. He's like, he was
Arquette?
fuck. What?
Arquette?
No, it's not David Arquette or any of that. No, that's not going to help me because I'm trying to find a guy who's not in it. Fun fact: the guy I'm thinking of did the opening narration and the ending narration of the famous Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like, blah 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 blah. What the fuck is his name? He was.
Well,
He was in Richie Rich. I'll find it.
To your same point, Rico, and then I can bring it back to what we were talking about. Number one, a lot of people don't remember Dan Aykroyd is also in Driving Miss Daisy because most people are focused on Morgan Freeman and Jessica Lange.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, I had never made that connection.
All right, I found who I'm talking about. It's John Larroquette.
Oh, John Larroquette.
And I thought.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that. I know him from Night Court. I used to watch Night Court.
Did you motherfuckers know this is the guy who does the narration in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Never
is
saw
this
it,
dude?
So I can't say that. But yeah, I used to watch him on Night Court. But yes, Dan Aykroyd is the son of in Driving Miss Daisy, and then we also kicked him around as a potential person on this list, but ultimately didn't go with it. But not because we don't think he's funny or we don't like him. We just felt what we had put together was better.
I just realized that Danny Glover was in Escape from Alcatraz.
That's all right. Donald Glover's Childish Gambino. So there you go.
Donald Glover, his name is Dong Lover.
Yeah, I know. You told us that before, but you said Danny Glover's in Escape, the one with Eastwood.
Yeah, he plays. There's a part where Eastwood is pushing the car to books, and the inmate says, "Hey, where's such and such?" And then he's like, "Oh, some cracker always trying to steal a black man's job or some shit." That's Murtaugh, motherfucker.
He's too old for that shit.
He was too old then. Because the thing is that he's from my area.
Yeah.
So he was born and raised in San Francisco, Oakland. I've heard both cities that he was a part of. But, and obviously Alcatraz is fucking San Francisco. So I think it was like his debut. He's like, I'll go to prison for a fucking movie.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny. That's one of the few Clint Eastwood movies I can tolerate.
Yeah, I'm not
a big Eastwood fan. I'm not saying he's some shit actor. I'm just not a big fan. But that's one.
If you want to talk about one note, his one note is great, but it's one note.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
definitely, he's not rangy.
Yeah. I mean, he is great in Gran Torino. He's great in $1 Million Baby.
I love him.
He's great.
I love Gran Torino.
Yeah, I mean, he's great in every movie he's in, but it's just the same shit.
Character. Yeah, exactly. and that's the wild thing though, is that like, what was that, Todd?
I said he's been playing a grumpy old fart since before he was a grumpy old fart.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I just feel like, in every movie he's in, like you said, Rico, he's great. That's because that character is perfect for that film, but it's the same character.
Well,
right?
Just like Danny Glover, Clint Eastwood is from my neighborhood too. Clint Eastwood actually went to my high school, Piedmont. I technically went to Millennium, which is an alternative high school in the Piedmont building. So my high school is a fucking hallway. But Clint Eastwood got expelled from Piedmont High for riding his motorcycle across the football fucking field. Now, think about what year this could have been, because Clint Eastwood has always been fucking old. So this was like 19.
Always.
Like, they didn't even have a school. It was just a field. That's how old he was. And then they expelled him before they built the school.
One room schoolhouse. Steph brings up a good point. I want to double back because there's some other comedians we haven't talked about that could fit into potentially this list. And a couple of them we talked about on the episode, but we didn't talk about tonight. So Adam Sandler, Ben Stiller, Billy Crystal, Paul Rudd, and Owen Wilson. Of that list, there's only two people I can stomach, and that's Billy Crystal and Paul Rudd, honestly. I mean, yeah.
I love Paul Rudd. I cannot handle Ben
Stiller.
I can't. Like anything he's in, I feel like secondary PTSD from just how fucking embarrassing and awkward he is. Okay, and I can't remember the name of the film. Okay, so I'm gonna rely on you guys, right? There was a movie that came out called Interstellar that had Matthew McConaughey, but there was one at the same time that came out with Sandra Bullock. What was that one called? Gravity. Okay. So I watched Gravity, and at one point in time, Paul turned and looked at me towards the end, and he was like, "Why do you have that look on your face?" And I was like, "This should be a Ben Stiller movie." Because everything that could possibly go wrong has gone wrong. This is like beyond suspension of disbelief. Like, I cannot handle it. It should have been a Ben Stiller movie. I'll tell you how Ben
Stiller reacts when shit goes south in every movie. Whoa, 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 hey, whoa. Like, he just does this fucking thing. It drives me like, whoa, hey, here, wait a minute, whoa. Like, it's so...
I think he seems like a great guy, and I think his parents seem like they're great too. I just, again, I'm like, can it be more embarrassing?
There's the couple things I can say about Ben Stiller. Number one, there's 2 movies he's been in that I've actually liked. Well, actually, before I get there, I'll talk about the fact that I hated him for marrying the girl I had a crush on from Hey Dude, because I dug her.
I loved Hey Dude.
And I can't remember her name right now, but she
was in The Craft.
Christine Taylor?
That's the actor. No, yeah.
She was Mel.
Deb's yelling the name at me too, but she's saying Mel.
She was a biatch in The Craft, though.
I think that was her. Yeah. Yeah.
She definitely was. Yeah. She was. For sure.
What
was that?
It was Marsha Brady in the movie.
Yes, that too. Yeah.
That's true.
I did forget that. Thank you. But the only 2 Ben Stiller movies I've ever seen that I've actually liked, he's not really playing a comedy role, which is why I think I kind of like him in it. So, Along Came Polly was not bad with Jennifer Aniston. It's comedy, but it's not Ben Stiller comedy. It's not Zoolander. It's not.
Well, and you also had Philip Seymour Hoffman.
I mean, true. But and then there's another movie, and I'm trying to find the name of it right now, where he plays a rabbi to Ed Norton's priest, and they both fall in love with Jenna Elfman. And yeah,
super weird. Yeah, no, I remember that vaguely. I could not tell you the name of that film.
I'm looking through his list of movies now, and I'll have it in a second because
as far as Ben Stiller goes, the only movies that I actually will actively admit to watching and liking is the Fokker movies. Meet the Fockers, Meet the Parents.
That's okay. The first one was okay. The other 2.
No, I couldn't handle it. Like, okay, so you guys know my weirdness about, like, I can't watch movies I haven't seen before unless I'm, like, forced. And then once I've seen it, I'm like, oh, that was good. Let's watch it again, right? That's one that, like, I've seen multiple times, cannot fucking handle it. I am so traumatized by everything that goes wrong in that movie.
Yeah.
For Gaylord.
The movie I was talking about. I missed part of that. I'm sorry.
You're not missing much.
No,
the character's name in Meet the Parents is Gaylord Fokker.
Oh, I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the name. Yeah.
The movie
I just referred to him as Gaylord, CJ.
Okay.
That's
well, the movie
happened.
I was thinking of was called Keeping the Faith. Came out in 2000, and it's Ben Stiller, Ed Norton, and Jenna Elfman.
Gotcha.
And that one, and
right.
It's very much like what we were talking about with Jim Carrey, where his more serious roles I enjoy. I'm starting to come around on Steve Carell for the same reason. Like, I don't like Steve Carell, but I like him in some of his serious roles that he's played, and I hear he's amazing in this Apple.
I need to see that one where he has, what is it fucking called? With the setup that he has, like, that the dolls and stuff, where he's playing.
The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, I think it's called. Is that it?
No.
Is that it?
No. It's another flick. Shizen Manelli.
That's hilarious.
It's directed by Zemeckis. I know that. Dude, Maddie worked on it.
Yes.
Did it?
But I can't remember. It's a Zemeckis flick.
I'm looking at his IMDb now. I'm trying to find it. I do want to see, but not the one you're talking about, Rico, but I do want to see Foxcatcher because I hear he's really good in that too.
Foxcatcher is fucked up because you have to keep pinching yourself like, this is the dude from the 40-Year-Old Virgin. Holy shit!
Well, not only that, but it's true story, and it happened like 30 minutes from where I live. But that's a whole different conversation. Let's see.
Do you have an alibi, CJ?
I wasn't alive yet. I don't think. Welcome to Marwin.
I think you were.
Well,
Good alibi.
Is
Good
the movie
alibi.
at the
Marwin. Yeah, that's a great movie.
Wait, say it one more time because I'm
Welcome
missing
to
like the
Marwin.
first part of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really good.
Yeah, I need to watch that.
I
Like,
hear
really
this Apple
badly.
TV show that he's on right now. He's really kicking ass. The morning show with Jennifer Aniston. It's on Apple Plus. I hear it's
Interesting.
winning Emmys and shit, and I hear it's pretty good. Jolene's gonna hate me because I don't like 40-Year-Old Virgin at all.
Okay, so weird thing. Okay, Catherine Keener, who's in that as the guilt,
Ow.
right? What?
Oh,
What's
she's
calling him a virgin.
Is it too close to home?
I mean, in the sense that he's 40, probably.
Wow.
he does live with his fiance. I'm pretty sure there's not the whole virgin thing going on. So
Wow,
here's-
you like fucking turned. God damn.
Jolene is vicious.
CJ's watching and
also,
taking notes and shit.
Oh, dude. Have you guys seen
Ariel, does that mean we have to do it on DocPex now? I mean, if it's a documentary, technically?
The only
Do we have to do it on
DocPex.
DocPex now? I mean, shit. 40-Year-Old Virgin,
do
because
what
according
on
to Jolene,
DocPex?
I watched it as a documentary. So
the only part I watch of that movie that's like a documentary is how to fucking make really good egg salad.
I just love Judd Apatow's wife in that movie.
God. I like Leslie
French
Mann
time.
more in that movie than I did in Knocked Up. I fucking hate her in Knocked Up.
I didn't.
Yeah, no,
I just don't. That's not my style of comedy. We've talked about this, Rico, on the comedic counseling episode. I just don't. Those style of comedies just don't.
I mean, I like Seth Rogen and Paul Rudd in it, and Romany Malco is funny as shit in that film. I think Catherine Keener is great. I think that whole bit with Jonah Hill trying to fucking buy those shoes and shit at the store, at the eBay store, I thought it was great. However, there are I think the Indian dude who's just like, you know, if you could fucking go out and suck cock, like that dude is just the funny. Like, I need more movies of that motherfucker.
He's the best. And I also loved Mindy Kaling, like her just brief little thing as what was her name, Kelly,
Whatever.
I think.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd's ex, where he like runs into her at the speed dating thing, and she's just like,
And Seth Rogen's like, you need to leave my friend alone because he's. And then she like explains like, I have changed my number. I fucking deleted him on Facebook. I moved, and he still follows me. And he's like, well, I didn't know that, so I'm sorry.
Well, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
I've only
sorry.
seen John Krasinski in one thing, and that's Leatherheads, which I do really much enjoy that movie. So I love that one very much. I think that's a great comedy. Same vein as Oh Brother Where Art Thou, which is another comedy movie I love. It's actually the same writers, I believe.
I never got into The Office.
Yeah.
Okay, like that's just one of those shows that I just was like, it's all right. I mean, like I've seen it, but like,
and to maybe redeem myself with Jolene a little bit, possibly, because The Office, as I'm sure we all know, originated as a British show, and then they Americanized it with Steve Carell. Now I hear the British one is 1,000 times better than.
It has Ricky Gervais, doesn't it?
Everything American originally started out as a British something. Let's just be real.
That's probably true. Yeah.
There's a few sitcoms from like the 70s that were originally British sitcoms. Like Three's Company was a British sitcom. Yep.
Was it really?
And
Funny.
Friends is
I had
actually
no
based
idea.
on a British sitcom as well.
Jolene, you
Yeah,
don't
that's
like
based
Ricky
on one
Gervais?
punch. So that's funny.
I fucking love
John,
Ricky
you're talking
Gervais.
about the show Coupling, right?
Yeah.
He's transphobic?
I did not know that.
I had no
I'm a
idea.
prick.
Yeah, agreed.
Well, I'm glad we
fuck
didn't put him on the
him.
fucking list. We almost did,
Yeah,
but we didn't know that. But
He
we're
did
like,
almost make. Well, yeah. Well, that's because he was going to be the Simon Pegg, right? Because that's where we.
yeah, we were like Simon Pegg's just better. Simon
Agreed.
Pegg has more range. Simon Pegg will actually get ripped for a fucking role.
Yes.
I thought Gervais was funny until I saw his show Idiot Abroad, where he made fun of his simple friend for a whole season.
Wait, his simple friend. Are you talking
Yes.
about Carl?
He's like the butt of every fucking joke on that
Well,
show.
Carl's
And that
not.
guy is not
Carl's not
stupid. He's not.
simple.
He's
a normal
probably
dude.
autistic, but they poke fun of him every single chance they get. Fucking hate it.
He doesn't seem like he's on the spectrum to me, and he doesn't seem like he's particularly low IQ or anything. He just seems like a normal, like very salt of the earth kind of person. Like,
confused by things.
Yeah, but just not prepared for world travel, really. I loved the show, but that makes me really sad about Ricky Gervais. Like, I loved him. I thought he was hilarious, and now I'm really,
Fern gave us
really
some
upset
info. Apparently,
about...
he dead named Caitlyn Jenner at some award ceremony on live television. So, I'm not
okay. And
I'm not familiar with the term dead naming, though, so I don't know what that
It means that somebody called Caitlyn Jenner Bruce on live television.
Awards from last year. Was it in the opening scene where he said all these things knowing that he was going to be fired and wasn't going to be asked to do it again? So and amongst them he referred to Bruce instead of Caitlyn. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will add this.
Yeah,
I think he should have had the respect of calling her Caitlyn. But I will also add, I think Caitlyn Jenner is a fucking awful person. But give her the respect.
Disagree with you, but it's still exactly. It's like you can talk all the shit you want about her.
There is
her.
I mean, and there's also a degree of intent, right? Because I have a friend who has transitioned, and I 99% of the time get it right, but I knew him before transition, and occasionally will slip when I'm talking and refer to use the term to his dead name, but that's not out of disrespect as much as just because I knew the person prior.
But the thing is about that, though, is that there are so many trans people, and I like legitimately, okay, this is going to sound really stupid, but I've been drinking, so give me a fucking break. In 2014, I actually
if that moves any more to the left, we're going to have problems there, buddy. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just moving my... Sorry, I wasn't thinking that my camera was on. I just was...
Totally messing with you. Go ahead, Ariel.
So, no, I did a ton of work with the trans community while I was in graduate school. And in 2014, I was actually awarded a national honor for Ally of the Year because of research that I did. So, like, I've done a lot with that community. They're some of my favorite people. Like, most of them are pretty, most of them are pretty chill. Like, if you refer to them by their dead name or you use the wrong pronouns, if they know that you mean not to, right? Like, they're like, no, I get it. Like, if you knew somebody for 30 years before they actually decided, I mean, and sometimes people are trans and they don't transition.
This isn't a trans thing, but I think about, Enrico, you and I joke about this all the time because it's not a trans thing at all. But you think about John Travolta fucking up, on Now I'm
Dina Menzel.
Yeah, when and so that's not a trend, right? But that's an ongoing joke now because he just fucked up. So I mean, it depends on the context. It depends on did you mean to do it? And it sounds like based on what Fern and Jolene are telling us that he meant to do it. So yeah. But, right. So fuck him.
Look, I got a lot of admiration for Ricky Gervais as a comedian because I admire anybody who can.
Sure.
I mean, he did a whole fucking bit. It may have been the same award show, but he was like talking so much shit about just actors and jokes. Like y'all get like millions of dollars for no reason. I can't do a Ricky Gervais, and then he just like. And he's like, and you think we all need to know what you guys think? We don't like. There are people that are really struggling, and you want to talk about how it's great to be an actor. Fuck you. And I was like, yeah, thank you. And then but like, there are certain times to be provocative. There are certain times to reel it in. I mean. You also have to, in my opinion, you have to earn the right to be provocative as long as it makes you think. If you're just saying offensive shit for the sake of being hateful, then you're just a bully. But if you're saying shit to make us all think.
Absolutely. And that was something we got into last night a little bit. And CJ, I think you had to go to bed before this part of it came on. It was like after the broadcast ended, but we got into a discussion. Ray, who I don't know if you guys know or not, but he was in his heyday in like the 70s, so he's an older gent, and we were talking about basically like things being PC and things being like people too sensitive and all of this, and there was this discussion about what shit I don't remember. Go ahead.
Well, I want to get back to this list that we've been. I mean, we've had some serious talk, and that's great, and we've had some talk about some other comedic actors and whatnot. But Steph did mention there's some names that. Where do these names fit into our list? Rico, you and I kicked this around a little bit, but we can always talk about it again. So we've got Adam Sandler, Ben Stiller, who we've all kind of agreed we don't really like, but Billy Crystal, Paul Rudd, and Owen Wilson. Mm-hmm. So where do these names, if anywhere, fit into the Pythons?
Owen Wilson belongs in the trash can where you would reject Pythons. Like, wow.
I do think you had actually wanted to put Billy in this. We talked about that and we couldn't figure out where to put him. But you would Billy Crystal.
Oh yeah, Billy Crystal is for sure.
Yeah,
I once wandered unknowingly into an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, and both Luke and Owen Wilson were in it.
I mean,
wow, doesn't that go against the whole anonymous part?
It was weird.
Yeah, thanks for revealing that shit.
They don't fucking care. They're super open about
I have
it. It's
nothing
not like
against
a secret. No, but afterwards we went and got coffee.
Owen Wilson could be feeding and blowing the homeless. That's how nice of a guy he could be. But as part of a American Python troupe, no. I
do like. There's one movie he's been in that I like, and it's not a comedy. It's Behind Enemy Lines with Gene Hackman. That's a great movie that he was in.
Steph likes that flick. I have yet to see.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's the same thing with like Stiller. When they do that role, or like Will Ferrell, when they do that role, they do a very good job. But they look, they have their own fucking group. They're the frat pack. Ben Stiller, Seth Rogen, Steve Carell are all in and Luke Wilson are all in the fucking frat pack. They got their own fucking group. They need to stay the fuck out of ours.
See, I think Paul Rudd could go in here. I just don't know where yet. I'm thinking he would be more one of the straight guys like Martin.
He would. Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm almost. If I was to put, if you had gun to my head and you had to pick one, I would probably put him Chapman. I would. he's not
who I
as
was thinking
because
too.
you talk about the aggression of Cleese. He does not have that aggression, Rico. No, I mean,
No, he's
What about Thomas Lennon?
what's that?
Ooh.
Thomas Lennon.
That's a good pull.
Hold on, what? State. What?
Jolene.
Thomas Lennon.
I
know
who that
it.
is.
I know. Jolene said, "I know a few places
Thomas
I'd put Paul
Lennon.
Rudd."
He was from Reno 911, but you would also recognize him. You would recognize him most prominently as the doctor in Dark Knight Rises, who's telling him like, yeah, you have no cartilage in your knee whatsoever."
Oh God,
That's Thomas Lennon.
I don't think I could. If you lined him up in front of me, though, I don't think I could be like, that's him. I remember that scene, but I don't. Yeah, no.
Did you ever watch The State on MTV?
The what?
The State on MTV back in the 90s?
I don't know what state MTV is now.
It's not music.
No, it was a sketch comedy show before that
You're too young, Rico.
was on MTV.
Sorry.
They did sketch comedy. They did like one of the funniest bits they ever did was they did like parody commercials, and they did the fabric softener commercial with the bear. In this parody commercial, she's sitting there ironing her clothes, and the bear comes to life, and she freaks out and beats the bear to death with the iron. It's probably funnier if you see it.
I mean, it sounds like a happy fucking story.
It's a funny show.
You guys who were born in the 90s, like, that's adorable. Like, I was school age at that point.
I was at
me and CJ
that show was on TV.
and Todd. Yeah, me and CJ and Todd were all like, yeah, well, back in the day when
MTV
we were growing up with
music
this
videos,
stuff that we remember.
Yeah,
Don't blame me because
I remember that. You remember MTVU?
What?
Like how fucking crazy that was when we went to like university and it was like MTVU. Like they would have like the university version of MTV.
Ariel, don't blame me because my parents fucked when they did. I mean, there's nothing. I had zero control over it.
Jolene, I have no doubt.
You.
I have no doubt.
I was born when I was born.
For you to figure that out.
The only MTV I ever saw was when they included clips of Beavis and Butthead. That's it.
Yeah, no, I remember that. But I also used to watch pop-up video on VH1. Do you guys remember that?
Liquid Television, Todd, with
oh yeah.
I see. I watched Sesame Street. I don't know what the fuck you guys
fucking loved it.
I'm out of here.
Pop-up video was like there would just be these little things, like they'd show a music video and then there would just be these little bubbles that would pop up and tell you facts about the filming of the video or something that it had to do with or whatever.
The two best things on VH1 were pop-up video and behind the music, hands down.
Definitely behind the music, yeah, for sure. And MTV wasn't. What was that show with Claire Danes on MTV? Do you remember My So-Called Life? Okay, yeah.
So
we're so old, guys.
Getting back to these names, Adam Sandler. Does he fit in this? You and I talked about it, Rico, but I want to get other people's opinion.
We kicked it around. Adam Sandler. Look, I just rewatched an Adam Sandler flick. I have a minor appreciation of his shit because, like, he was sort of my Jim Carrey in that sense. You know, like how we all kind of grew up, and I mean, he's got some awful fucking movies like Jim Carrey does. Like everybody does. Everybody has an awful fucking.
There's only 2, maybe 3 Adam Sandler movies that I can name that I really truly enjoy, and it's 51st Dates, which I think is pretty good, and I'm a big fan of Big Daddy. I know that's an offense for some people, but that's it.
Those were the Sprouse brother. Little boy,
and I think the one committed suicide, didn't he?
No.
It's the twin. Then it's the twins from Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters 2. Yeah, last year he committed suicide.
I think it was 2 years ago, Todd. Yeah, I think you're right.
All right, so Big Daddy and
51st Dates. What's the other one with Drew Barrymore? It's basically like 51st Dates. It's not though.
Well,
The Wedding Singer. That's
The
the other
Wedding
one.
Singer?
Those are the three that I like. Yeah, I blanked on the name.
Julia Guglia. I love that movie, but I only love that movie because
what is
of
Zach and
Drew
Cody?
Barrymore.
Like, no,
The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. Those were the Sprouse
Disney
brothers.
kids, Disney Channel kids.
The Sprouse brothers were
Yeah.
Zach and Cody in The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
I'm too old.
Dylan Sprouse
Riverdale.
is now on what the
he's
fuck is it?
Jughead.
Riverdale. Yeah. Yes.
Great.
And I love it. That's great. Also, hey guys, watch Riverdale. It's really good.
I actually just,
I agree.
It's funny you say that. I just rewatched Josie the Pussycats. Holy shit!
movie?
The movie,
Yeah.
It's
I,
garbage.
dude. It's garbage, but if you rewatch it, it is ahead. It was way ahead of its time. Like you watch that movie now, you're like, oh shit, they were trying to tell us some stuff. CJ, what were you saying?
No, we're talking.
Yeah, Mal, you're absolutely right. Yeah, it is.
We're
it's
talking.
Cole
We're
on,
talking.
Riverdale.
CW.
Yeah, they're twins.
Can I have my show back? Thank you. We're talking CW shows. They just announced this week that this upcoming season's the last season of Supergirl, which was disappointing. So that I have a feeling, and I thought this might happen when Arrow went down, that the Arrowverse is going to fall apart. I don't think it's going to sustain much longer, unfortunately.
Yeah.
No, dude. That woman's not doing well.
Fuck, they already lost their star. So
at that point, they just need to give up.
But and so I think. Well, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think if Supergirl's going down this year, I bet we get 2 more seasons of Flash, and that's it.
Well, I actually think that the reason why Supergirl's going away is because we're getting Superman. They're like, you know what? We only have room for one Kryptonian on this
shit
network.
Reason to do it, Todd. I'm sorry.
Agreed.
That's a shit reason. If that's the reason, that's a shit reason to do it.
I agree. I'm not saying that's not shit. I'm just saying I'm thinking that's what's going on. It's because, Supergirl is an awesome show.
You're right.
There's no reason for them to.
Yeah, no, it's a great show, and I think having either you have them on together in 2 separate shows, or you just don't do the Superman show and you keep Supergirl because.
Right.
I just think it's if that's the reason. I know you're not definitively saying that's the reason, but if that's the reason, then that's a shit reason to do it. Hey Mel, thanks for joining us.
Hey Mel.
We've got about 20 minutes left, so thanks for popping in. I'll give you a quick update. We've kind of gone all over the map tonight, but we started by discussing our picks for Monty Python American equivalents, and so we went no you're good to hang out for a bit, but we went through a list of people that would be the equivalents of Monty Python in America just for fun. It's like a fan fiction thing where I love Jolene's description of it. That's why I'm continuing to go back to it. I think that was a great description.
Alternate universe
too. Yep. And so just to give you a catch up real quick, we had Phil Hartman as Terry Jones, Bill Murray as John Cleese, Robin Williams for Eric Idle, Steve Martin for Graham Chapman, Simon Pegg for Terry Gilliam because Gilliam was an American, so we flipped it and picked a Brit. Alan Tudyk for Michael Palin, Gilda Radner for Connie Booth, which is one of the honorary Pythons, and also Carol Cleveland, who's an honorary Python, was Sarah Silverman. So those are our picks there. If you have any feedback into that, please let us know. Oh, Fern, we all miss Robin Williams. That guy.
Yeah, speaking of Billy Crystal earlier, Steph and I showed Steph the movie Father's Day, which is not one of the well-received Robin Williams movies, but it's fucking funny. Like, just the two of them pairing up. And the fucked up part is there's a hard part to watch where when Robin Williams' character is introduced, it's him contemplating and about to commit or attempt suicide. But as only Robin can do it, he makes it really fucking funny where he's loading up a gun and he says 2 bullets should be enough. And it just kills me every fucking time, even though it's sad.
Yeah.
And obviously he doesn't guy in the movie,
Sure.
but it's
Fern, to your point, I actually prefer the original Flubber over the Robin Williams one. That's
what was it? The Absent-Minded Professor.
What's that?
The Absent-Minded Professor.
It wasn't
the old
called
black and white
Flubber,
one.
but it was the same movie. Yeah.
Well, then they made a sequel to the Absent-Minded Professor called Son of Flubber, I think is what it was called.
I think, but I've only seen the Absent-Minded Professor. It's actually black and white, Jolene. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, it's an old school, I think 68, I want to say.
Yeah.
They had color back then, though.
It's shot in black and white. It's a black and white movie. I'm almost positive anyway. I can confirm that, but I want to say it's called...
It's black and white. I've seen it a number of times, and I think it's on Disney Plus.
I wouldn't be stunned if it was. I mean,
the first film I remember watching with Robin Williams would probably, I think it was probably Mrs. I mean, excluding Aladdin. I think excluding
Mrs.
Aladdin
Doubtfire.
because I didn't know it was Robin Williams.
Fair.
But I think probably Mrs. Doubtfire.
Right.
Rico, I want to update. It's 61,
Mrs.
not
Doubtfire.
68. 61, the Absent-Minded Professor.
That sounds more likely because they were still bordering that black and white era.
But it's a really it's a good movie. It's that one. It's right up. I mean, we're not talking the same year, but it's right up there for me with Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Like, give me those old school.
Yeah.
And I know you're not a huge Mary Poppins fan, but I'll take that one too. So.
Who?
You? I thought you weren't a big Mary Poppins fan.
No, I liked the first Mary Poppins. I just did not like the sequel. I thought the sequel was a fucking dumpster fire.
I didn't think it was a dumpster fire, but it was weak comparatively speaking. So
it just was.
Yeah.
It was definitely weak.
Yeah, but you're not. Yeah, what are you gonna do?
My shit was Jumanji when I was a kid for Robin Williams.
That might be the first one of his that I saw. Honestly, that might be my first Robin Williams movie.
Really? I mean, you're 10 years older than me, so you weren't watching like his 80s and early 90s shit? Like
No. I didn't even
Really?
I wasn't aware of Rob until I was probably a sophomore or junior in high school.
Oh, wow.
Well, no, we'll put it this way. Like, it's one of those things like Rico's
Really?
talking about where like you're like Aladdin. You hear the voice, you see the face, but you don't know who Robin Williams is. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't aware of Robin.
sure.
Like, I'm aware of him now.
I was
Okay. Well, once I saw Ms. Doubtfire, there was no mistaking that was Robin Williams. Like, from then on out, for me, there was Rico. You feel the same way? Like,
I think it was. Yeah, I think he became more. I was more hyper aware of Robin, especially like when I think I remember telling my mom like because I saw Aladdin again, and I said, "Is that Mrs. Doubtfire?" And that's how I was able to like. And my mom was like, "His name is Robin Williams," and I'm like, "No, his name is fucking Mrs. Doubtfire."
yeah. Right. Yeah. But I mean that to me, I was like, from that role, it was like, I know who he is. And from that point forward, it was just any role he did.
Rico,
I was like, that's him.
Jumanji's 95.
What?
Yeah.
So that
You would have been 15.
right. I wasn't. Good Morning Vietnam wasn't even really on my radar yet. So like that, wouldn't have applied. The only thing I can think of that I might have seen him in prior to that was I think I saw Dead Poets Society before I saw Jumanji. That might be where I saw him first.
I love that movie so much. Also, in the chat, they're talking about
Fern brought it up at first,
CJ,
but then I
bring
backed
that
her up. Actually, I have to I got to back up again. Rico, I owe you an apology. My first awareness of him, and I don't know how I didn't think about this, fucking Hook. That's where I know him from first and foremost. It's
That was my
I would
second.
probably argue the
Yes,
same
after
thing.
Ms.
I saw
Doubtfire
Hook
was that.
in theaters. Like
Ooh.
yeah. So It's got to be her, probably.
And for those who were here earlier, sorry, Todd, just give me 1 second. For those who were here earlier, one of the rants that I sent CJ to get him to like talk to me about becoming his partner was Hook.
I was not there when he was born. Fuck, he was older than me. Jesus Christ.
Oh, hey, sorry, this is a total derailment.
Todd,
Mel,
you
I didn't
next.
realize you were here. Hey, doll.
Yeah, I was gonna say my first being aware of Robin Williams was when he was on Happy Days as Mort.
Sure.
Oh, you went way back.
Yeah, he went way back.
You weren't even pre-Mork. You were going Happy Days.
Well, that's where Mork.
I know.
Mork. It was that was the beginning. That was like Barry Allen showing up on Arrow. So I mean, it was a spinoff.
I actually I need to amend it.
He's a Mork and Mindy. Yeah,
the first movie I saw him in. But again, this goes back to not knowing who Robin Williams was, and he's actually heavy prosthetic in this, so I wouldn't have recognized him. Popeye. I actually saw Popeye when I was like 5 years old. 5 years old.
That's Steph.
Right. And cut the cord. I don't even know what that means. I get it now. I follow. Sorry. But she said I was there when Robin was born, and I cut the cord. That's how old I am, apparently. So,
yeah, but when he spanked Robin, he came back with like a bunch of hair on his head.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So,
Robin Williams, the only person who was born looking like a Muppet.
Don't love that.
Yep.
I remember in his Live on Broadway special, like his stand-up special, how he was talking about like meeting Coco the gorilla, and how like he had hair, he had so much hair on his body that it was like
it's called Live on Broadway. I know that one very well. Yeah. As good as that one is,
right. I can't remember the name.
Hands down, Live at the Met from '87. I want to say. Oh my!
Oh my God!
No,
I'm familiar. I'm familiar. I fucking lost it when Robin Williams died. Like, he's been a hero of mine.
Steph is trying to reel us back to our topic. All right, did we classify where Billy Crystal would fit in the Monty Python alternate universe?
Podcast.
Yeah, right. What's that about? Billy Crystal, Palin.
I think that's who we said. We were like, Billy Crystal is probably the closest to Palin.
Yeah,
but we I don't know. Nothing against Billy Crystal. We just had to,
Plus, we were trying to save from doing all SNL. That was the other thing. That's one of the reasons we left him off the list, is we were trying to not do all SNL people.
Right. So, it was super, because we kept going back, like, oh, Dan Aykroyd, and then like after we came up with this, we're like, fuck John Belushi. Fuck John Candy. Fuck Chris Farley.
I even said to you the Belushi, as great as he was, didn't have that range you need for Python. Like, I don't feel like he fits into that trope. Great comedian, actor and all, but I just don't feel like he had what you need.
Mm-hmm.
John Candy, out of those three, Belushi, Farley, and Candy, would have been the one with the most range.
I think Farley range.
I fucking love John Candy. He would have been.
I love John Candy, but I think
definitely see being
Farley has more range. Honestly,
no.
What? Who said what?
Rick Moranis.
I picked Rick Moranis. I said that initially. I picked him for. I think I picked him for Palin. No, who did I pick him for originally, Rico? Because he was one of the first names I said.
I think you wanted to go Palin. I said, Rick Moranis, I got nothing but respect for the dude, but he is the same fucking dude, more or less, in every movie.
You said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dark Helmet is a little different than the dude from Honey, We Shrunk the Kids and shit like that.
And Louis Tully from Ghostbusters, but still, it's not too far off. I hear
you. Yeah, I was about to say Ghostbusters.
CJ's always
like that.
CJ's
always
good
my mind
for a
went,
Ghostbusters fucking reference.
I fucking love Ghostbusters. Okay, it's a great goddamn movie. I like them both. I like the first one and the second one.
Right?
I have a major problem on the all girl cast, but not because it's
Me
all
too.
girls. I just think it's a shit movie, not because it's all females.
You know, it's horribly written.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like if it had been done
I
better,
didn't think it was very well done. And they had quality.
it's a writing
actresses.
problem and an
Like,
execution
that's,
problem.
That's my
not-
problem. Is
Yeah,
like
go ahead,
The
Rick.
problem,
Hey,
the problem
hold on.
with Answer the Call was that
Todd.
they
Todd.
made the bad. All right, never mind. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Didn't have
we're
to
doing a timeout.
leave.
Todd, no, I just wanted to say we got 10 minutes.
Okay.
That's all I was about
Yeah,
to
we're
do.
just-
You can come back on.
Yeah, come back, buddy. Say what you had to say.
Todd,
We're just we needed a minute, but there's a delay with something.
Rico, seriously, I am watching you, so give me a timeout if I need to
Okay.
shut the fuck up
Well, I mean, we got 10 minutes.
at any
so there's
point.
no point.
I'm just saying.
At the 5-minute mark, then everyone shut the fuck
But in
up.
the 5-minute mark, I'm
Well, I mean-
kicking people off the screen so we can do our wrap up. But that's not because we don't want to talk.
You don't need to kick
Todd,
me
in all
off.
seriousness,
I'll,
come
Yeah,
back,
please,
buddy.
I
dude.
will show
I want to
myself
hear your
out.
point. We needed a quick second here.
There's also a lag. You have to remember.
There's
Yeah,
a
also-
mad lag on yours, Todd. We don't
I
know
think
why.
he left.
Go ahead.
Probably. At this point,
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
remember what I was going to
Hey,
say
Todd.
because I got derailed. So
Well, we apologize, man. There was no disrespect intended, so I apologize if you were upset about it. My bad. So
I figured, I was getting cut off for a reason, so I figured I'd bow out. So
no. Steph,
Todd, you do have to remember, Todd, there is a mad, crazy lag.
yeah. So,
See, I said that. It took you about 3 seconds to hear what I said.
yeah.
That's my point.
We're not, yeah. Anyway, Steph's trying to bring you back.
Right.
You were talking about the female. It sounded like you were talking about the female actors in that particular Ghostbusters. So if that jogs your memory, please.
I was going to say the reason why that movie sucked as bad as it did, and it was a good movie. The thing that I thought would have made the movie better is if they hadn't made the basement trolls that were hating the movie the bad guy. That's why he was the bad guy. He was an embodiment of all the haters of the movie.
I don't even remember.
He was basically the I'm smarter than you because I have this education and I have this IQ, you're beneath me kind of attitude. And that's how all the basement trolls and neckbeards were talking in the comments for the initial trailer for the movie. People hated the movie before it even got finished. It was stupid.
Can I interrupt for 1 second?
Sure.
I mean, I wasn't hating on the film before I saw it because you can ask anybody. I am a fucking major feminist and I do want great, strong women movies. I did kind of feel it went against them to have a whole only woman group. It has nothing to do with their talent. Every single one of those women, whether I like their movies or not, is talented. You have to be at the top of your comedic level, more or less, to be accepted for SNL and to have a career. LA and Hollywood is not a fucking forgiving, industry. So everyone likes a comeback, but they will find any excuse to give you shit and to ruin your fucking career. However, they needed to just say, okay, instead of making an all-woman version, just and please don't read too much into this, but when there are remakes and it's the all-black version or the all-white version or the all-women version or the all-men version, you guys are missing the fucking point. Just make a good movie.
Right.
Take men, take women, smush together, make a good movie. Because when I rewatched the original Ghostbusters, I was like, there is a definite lack of vagina in this movie. They should have included it. Now, honestly, the best parts, in my opinion, of Answer the Call, which is such a weird fucking way of calling it anyways, because Answer the Call, who are they calling? And it's who are you going to call? It was a weird.
Yeah, my only complaint is not even about the movie. I mean, the movie was, but whatever. That's fine. They make shit movies all the time, so like, I'm not gonna like. But then they announced this new Ghostbusters movie, Ghostbusters Afterlife, that was supposed to come out this year. That's now being pushed because of all the COVID crap. And Leslie Jones came out and went on a rant about I didn't include their cast in the storyline, and that didn't need to happen. That was just
Right?
That was just bullshit. But that's
CJ. Do you want to peek behind the curtain about? I mean, we also have 5 minutes.
we got 5 minutes. So if you want to, I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't remember what I said, but I fucking lost my shit for about 4 minutes on PodAskew and cut the whole thing out.
4 minutes, bullshit. You went on for like 20.
I was mad because it was just stupid.
He went on a whole rant for 20 minutes. Drop it.
Well, that's your call, Todd. It's your show. We're gonna ask you not because of you, but just to hop off because we're gonna wrap up. But thanks for coming up. And we're both gonna come over to Todd's show. So if you guys are enjoying the conversation and Todd chooses to carry it on because it is his show, we'll be there to continue that. Listen, I want to thank everybody that came out tonight. We always appreciate it. First off and foremost, and this is just Enrico can back me up. This is just who I am. I want to give sincere apologies to Todd again. We did not mean to offend you or upset you in any capacity. That was just trying to get a handle on the show. So just want to stress that one last time. Thank you to Mel, Fern, Ariel, Jolene, Mal, as always, Todd, Jay, our biggest fucking fan anywhere in the goddamn world. And second biggest only because I don't think anyone can top Jay, Stephanie.
No, but she tops me.
But thank you all for coming out. Follow us on anywhere you find in social media at PodAskew. Follow Rico at Rants Rico on Twitter. I'm at M_Blades. Thanks to Logo Mike for our opening logo that's on this, as well as the PodAskew logo that you can wonderfully see on Rico and my t-shirts. Available at tpublic.com/PodAskew.
And only at TeePublic.
Only at tpublic/PodAskew. Jolene's representing the CJ fan club. I like that. We need more people in that club.
I'm not even part of
I know you're not, motherfucker.
I'm the guy who's writing complaints to that.
Yeah, you are, dick. But thank you, everybody, sincerely for coming out. Please join us over on Todd the 206 Geeks show. We're going to be there. I'll be there. I'm sure Rico's coming too. And anyone that wants to come hang out, please do that because he's got a great show too. And for whatever reason, the light goes away on his show. That's good for him. So, in the meantime, again, thank you for coming out, and we will see everybody next time.
PodAskew.